Welcome. Today's video is for Agile enthusiasts and Scrum Masters. If you want to learn how to do the change management planning poker, join me. This video has been inspired by a conversation with one of my fellow change managers. She wanted to make sure that her change management strategy presentation back to the project team and the sponsor was not a boring PowerPoint, but rather an engaging and valuable discussion. So today I'm going to share with you how you can do a change management planning poker. This is unlike the Agile or Scrum planning poker, not about estimating your time and effort for each of the change initiatives, but it is about challenging your change management strategy, each of the elements, and engaging your stakeholders deeply in how you're planning to roll out your change management strategy and the project. For the sake of today's video, I'm going to use the change conversation starters from Approach Services, and I'm going to put a link in the description below for you how to get your own deck. But if you don't have that, you can also use other conversation starters that are change management strategy related, or you can make up your own questions as well. Okay, the Agile planning poker was all about gamifying your budget planning, your time and effort planning of different initiatives within the project plan. The change management planning poker is all about improving your change management strategy and make it more fit for the organization that you're working with. Whether you've written an elaborate document about your change management strategy or you used our change project canvas, so you plan on the page, the elements in your strategy be very similar. So everything about like how you communicate your vision, the objectives behind the change, how you're going to engage your stakeholders, any of the risks that are involved with poor change management or poor stakeholder engagement, as well as how you're going to train them, the milestones, and the measuring of the progress of the change and adaptation. Okay, so how does the change management planning poker work? You will need an invite or a session where you have your change sponsor or ELT, your executive leadership team, or your project team to work with you. This works best with teams between 3 to 12 people, similar to any other Agile tool. If you have larger teams, I strongly recommend you to break them into small groups to work with separate decks as well as like separate facilitators. After you've got your people in the room, you also need your change management strategy that you want to present, and you need your questions or challenges or change conversation starters. I have divided the cards in this deck, these are like 35 different conversation starters, into different subsets between 3 to 7 cards, depending on which of the change management strategy elements they're challenging. The host or the change manager will now present one of the elements of the change management strategy as they were drafted and planned by the change manager. Let's say in our example, we're talking about the strategic vision and the scope and the deliverables and success measures. Now that leaves me with 4 different cards in my card deck that are having questions that challenge this particular discussion point. After I've presented it, I will read out the 4 cards, or I will present the 4 cards or make the cards available to my players, and they get a vote as to which card they want to choose in order to dive deeper into this particular element of my strategy. So let's say most of the stakeholders wanted to talk a little bit more about like what are the measures of the success and how do they envision the future. Now we can go around the room, or we can randomly choose people to speak to this topic, and we can then unearth deep insights and gold nuggets that improve our change management strategy. One of the benefits of using the change management planning poker is that once you've gone through all the different elements of your change management strategy, you have a real buy-in from your stakeholders. The gamification really improves the collaboration, the teamwork, and the ownership of people towards the change management strategy. Whether or not their insights made it into the final document, they feel like they've put some thoughts into it and they've added value. One of the drawbacks is probably that because we're reaching a consensus on the different elements after a little time frame, let's say 5 minutes of discussion per element, we might think that we've covered all our grounds. We still need to make sure that we're not missing important pieces of information for each of the different elements there. I would say give it a try and let me know how you went when you used the change management planning poker. Have you used different cards or different sets of questions in order to improve your change management strategy? Let me know and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe so I can give you more tips onto how to streamline your change management and how to improve the engagement with your stakeholders as well. Bye for now.